Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.
That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey friends, welcome to Moments That Matter. I'm your host, Callie Wiley, and I'm so glad you're here. This is the space where we'll talk about real life, the messy, the beautiful, the in-between moments that actually shape us. We'll dive into business, balance, building connections that feel real, growing brands with heart, meeting amazing people, and figuring out how to be our most authentic selves. No filters, no fluff, just honest conversations to help you show up fully in your life and step into the version of you that is already there. So get comfy, grab your coffee, and let's talk about the moments that actually matter. Welcome back to another episode of the Moments That Matter podcast. I'm going to dive right in today because last week we talked all about building your community, right? We're out building new communities, finding new people in our life, integrating ourselves into new communities. But today I want to talk about creating lasting friendships, cultivating connections that are going to really last. It's so many times we create these relationships in our life and they're just seasonal, which is fine, right? There are definitely people in your life that are going to be more seasonal friendships. But when we start talking about the power of long-term lasting relationships and friendships, it is super, super important. When people start to know your story long-term, there is this different kind of power and empowerment and support and love and kindness that comes because you've built long-term vulnerability with people, right? I've got a handful of friendships. Oh boy, you poor people are going to be put on blast today that have been really long-term for me. They're people that I still communicate with regularly, that are really important to me, that have been, seasonally in and out, like, right? We all go through life as we continue to grow, especially people that have been in my life since I was in elementary school or middle school. There are some of these people that we've had our seasons, right? I'm not going to say that there haven't been seasons. Y'all, we have had our times. I was married and divorced in my early 20s. And in that season, I made choices that I'm not proud of. And it put a lot of my long-term friendships on the back burner. And so, but I'm grateful that I still have a handful of people that have been in my life really long-term that it takes work though, right? It takes work to keep these people in your life and to continue to build relationships. And so I've got a handful of people in my life that have been there for literally decades. By the time this airs, I'll be 34. But I have a couple of people in my life. My friend Lacey has been in my life for decades. You guys, she was my best friend when I was 4. We were inseparable for decades. Now life happened and I'm really grateful that there was some life that also happened that brought us back together and brought us closer. But there's something about a foundational friendship when you can talk to someone and say, hey, remember that experience of this? Remember when we grew up through this? Remember when we had to have matching outfits? Remember that dance we had to do for my parents? Remember when we had to go camping and do X, Y, Z? Like there is this level of lasting that is just so, so powerful. I have friends that came in my life in my early 20s that I met through work that are still now going on a decade that they've been in my life that are just really important to me. It's very, very important for me to have these longer term relationships because especially for me now, like anyone that came in my life before 4 years ago when I lost my parents, they walked through a heavy season with me. And now I trust these people like you wouldn't believe. People that walked through losing my parents with me and losing some of my friends and losing people have just become a foundation for me. When you navigate through hard times with people and they show up and you show up, it just changes things. And when we're talking about friendships, there are going to be people in your life that are those seasonal people and acquaintances. And then there are true friends. And what does that mean, right? Like, what constitutes that lasting true friendship? It's mutual support. It's I reach out to you as much as you reach out to me. It's trust. It's you show up for me, I show up for you. It's shared experiences. It's I navigated this with you. Let's navigate this with me. It's mutual, right? It's, hey, I'm going to show up for you, the good, bad, the ugly. It's I'm going to show up for you to celebrate you. I'm also going to show up when life is really crappy. And it's building those things up over time that is going to create something that's really beautiful, really long-term. And when we can have these lasting friendships, there is something so powerful about it, right? There's improved mental health. There's support during tough times. There's increased happiness. I have people that I don't see for long periods of time. I've got a couple of good friends that I've gotten to build longer term relationships with. And, you know, when I get back in a room with these people, it's like no time has passed. I have a friend named Evan. Shout out to Evan if he's listening to this. If he's not, get with it. I've been friends with him since 8th grade. We have been friends for decades. I used to like call him on his parents' landline. It was a whole thing, you guys. Like we have just stayed friends for decades, and I cannot see Evan for a year. And the second we're back together, it's like 0 minutes have passed, and we have just stayed friends forever, right? It's just something that has happened. And when we can continue to establish those, it's going to help just overall with where you're at. It's so much easier to have someone long-term in your life that you can pick up the phone and they already know. They already know what's happening. They already know what's going on. They already know your backstory. They know what makes you fragile. They know what makes you tick. My friend Lindsay, you guys, this is just going to be a whole episode of me putting my poor friends on the ringer here. But Lindsay's someone that like her and I have both endured some pretty heavy things throughout our friendship over the last decade. And we know now, right? Like I know what makes Lindsay tick. I know what is going to be vulnerable for her, and she knows what's vulnerable for me. We just know there's this unwritten rule of like, I can pick up the phone or I can sit down with her, and we just know. We know if something's going to be something that is stressful for the other person. We know the history. We know what's built into what we are right now, right? And so there's something powerful about having people in your life that just already know. So enough about putting my friends on blast. Let's talk about some of these main tips that I have for building lasting friendships. They're actionable strategies. These are ways that I have found have been really powerful to cultivate and maintain friendships. Number one is you have to be authentic, y'all. You're not going to keep friendships if you are not authentic. If you're not having honesty and being vulnerable in your friendships, they're not going to last. If you have surface level friendships, they will be surface level friends. And I don't know about you. I love deep connection with people. I love having long-term friendships. You have to be a little vulnerable. You have to let some of your wall down. You have to have some of that honesty. If you just stay surface level, it's going to stay surface level. So you have to be a little bit authentic. Number two is probably my biggest one. You have to make time. You have to make time. There's so much importance around prioritizing quality time with people you care about. And if you've been hanging out with me for the last 12 weeks with this podcast launch, y'all, hustle culture and urgency culture is something I'm really trying to break. I'm really trying to cancel it out, right? We're canceling hustle culture and urgency culture because it's so expensive, because it ends up impeding your friendships, your relationships, the people in your life, because you prioritize a title over and an email over quality time with people. When you are with people you care about, that you want to have a long-term relationship, you better put your phone down. You better be present. You better actively listen. You better be there with that person. There is nothing that has deterred me more than someone that is on social media the entire time I'm with them, right? Now I have my friends that like, we're both sitting on the couch just rotting. That's cool. You can have your rot time. But like when you're with people and you're prioritizing time to be with people, you have to make the effort. Like you have to make the effort, to be present with people. Like, hey, let's grab dinner. The text goes both ways, right? Hey, do you want to grab dinner? Do you want to, let me call you? Let me FaceTime. The phone goes both directions, right? You have to put that time in. If you do not, it's not going to continue. I promise you. People notice. You have to make the time. If you've got a friend that's going through something hard, people notice when you don't show up. They notice when you don't text. They notice when you don't call. And they notice when you don't call 3 weeks down the line. As someone that's been through a lot of grief, they notice when you don't call 3 weeks down the line. Continue to make time for people. Continue to prioritize making time. You're not too busy. You have a time management problem. I promise you. I spent decades saying I'm too busy. I cannot attend your birthday dinner. I cannot go on that vacation. I cannot do XYZ. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I'm too important at work is essentially what I was saying. I'm too important to do that. I'm too important to be part of your life. And really what you were telling people is this is more important than you. Okay, let that sink in. When you say I don't have time, what you're saying is what else is going on in my life is more important than you. Okay, and that is going to be the number one killer of friendships. I promise you, I have lost friends over saying I don't have time. I've lost really important people. I've missed out on really important life events because I chose hustle culture over people that were really important to me. And there are things that I think about every single day that I said no to that should have destroyed friendships forever. And maybe didn't, maybe did, because I prioritized hustle culture over showing up for people and making time for people. Y'all, don't let your ego get in the way of friendships, because at the end of the day, the title, you are replaceable in work. You are not replaceable in your personal life. And when you stop showing up because you don't have time because you're too busy, I promise you, you're replaceable at work. They will have your job posted in 24 hours. They will have you replaced in a week. But the people in your life, they're not replaceable. So you have to make the time. If someone that you're really close with lives long distance, prioritize the time. Once a year, you do a trip together. This is something we've cultivated in our life, right? People come and stay with us a lot. Our house is like I've mentioned in almost every episode, we run our own private bed and breakfast essentially. And I'm really proud of that because it means that people get to have quality time and share quality meals in our space and in a home that we've created. Our door is always open to people we care about. And we have 2 guest rooms that are full a lot. And I will always make the time for people. If someone says, hey, I'm coming through town, I will make the time for you. I am not too busy because you are more important to me than a title. I work really hard, you guys. I'm just better with my time management, right? I'll get off my time soapbox. I could go on a whole episode of making time for people, but just know when you say you're too busy, you're just telling someone that they're less of a priority. Okay. That goes a long way. Number 3 for building lasting relationships is communicating openly. You have to be able to communicate with people. Be better than surface level. Communicate openly. Talk to people about what's going on in life. Talk to people about what you're going through. Talk to them about what they're going through. Like you have to communicate. And communicating openly. If something is bothering you, communicate with people and talk to them. Okay. You have to have that open communication. If something hurt your feelings, say something immediately. Don't wait till it builds like decades down the line. Okay. Say something, communicate, and allow that vulnerability to run. Okay. Allow it to run. Allow it to run. The last thing, and I think this is super important, it's something that I really focus on and that I know I really value, is show appreciation. Highlight gratitude. Recognize your people. Love and support and celebrate your friends. Being able to support people and celebrate their life and their changes and their challenges and having gratitude for people. Write thank you cards to your friends. You guys, I love snail mail. I love getting cards in the mail, and I've got some really good friends that are big into sending cards. Those little things are really important. I try to give cards to people that have made impact in my life. Hey, thanks for supporting me through this. You know, I've been through a lot of life changes. I made a really bold move to prioritize my mental health over my career, my certain part of my career. And that was tough. And there were so many people that helped me and said, I believe in you, that I wrote thank you cards to. Like, thanks for believing me when I didn't. Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. And show that appreciation. Shout out people, celebrate them, love them, be really proud of the people. Tell them you love them. You guys, I could go on forever about why it's important to tell your friends you love them, because tomorrow's not always promised. And I want you to always be able to feel comfortable enough and be vulnerable enough to tell people that you love them. I overuse I love you, and I don't care. If you are in my corner and you are my friend and I consider you my family, I'm going to tell you I love you. I don't care. I don't care if I overuse the word. If I truly feel that way, I'm going to make sure that you know it. So show appreciation to people in your life and pour into them. Pour into them. And just celebrate the people around you. All right, so those are my 5 tips. We're being authentic. We're making time. We're communicating openly. Actually, this is 4 tips. I just can't read. Be authentic, make time, communicate openly, and show appreciate. Celebrate your people and make time. Make time. All right. So we are going to take care of our people. I also understand how friendships can be affected, right? There's life changes that are going to affect it. You moved, you got married, you started a family. I understand there are ways to stay connected with people. Friendships can look different and they're going to evolve. They're going to change. As people start to change and evolve, things that your relationship with people are going to change and evolve. For me, it goes so much back to making time and understanding that it can look different. Maybe you hung out with this person in person 6 days a week before, right? Then you moved, you started a family, you got married. Amazing. Prioritize a FaceTime call. 10 minutes a week. 10 minutes a week. Jump on the phone with someone for 10 minutes a week. If there's someone that's important to you, make time. You're not too busy. Your time management sucks, okay? Make time. When you're navigating life changes, it's up to you to still make the time. That's what this is all going to come back to, okay? This is what it's all going to come back to. So as we continue to build this is going to help build out your community, right? We talked about community. As you continue to build these lasting relationships, once you've started to find your community, you are going to watch your life unfold. When you have people in your corner and you're not doing life on your own, there is so much power in that. There's so much power in that. So as always, make sure you reach out to me. Let me know how you're doing this. Let me know how you're building lasting friendships. Let me know anything that I missed. How are you keeping your friendships alive and solid? But I appreciate you being here. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you next week.